Welcome back, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed your lunch. I apologize if you got a little damp. This wasn't in our plan. We checked the weather a million times, and it was 10% chance of rain, so just our luck. I appreciate your flexibility with that, and I hope you all you had an opportunity to avail yourselves of the dessert bar, too. It's delicious. I am so excited to introduce our next speaker. She is CEO of Yes2 Inc. For those of you who aren't familiar with the brand, it's a wonderful beauty products company that their products are based all in natural ingredients, and it's really just good for you products. Joy Chen started her career right here at Berkeley. She did her undergraduate degree here, and from there she's really just gone nowhere but up. She was recently acknowledged in 2012 as one of the Bay Area's most admired CEOs, and in 2013 as one of the region's most influential women. We're so excited to have her here today in particular because we really think that she embodies our theme of path-bending leadership and her leadership style, whether it's taking over Yes2, which was quite a small brand when she got there and is now extremely important in the category and in the space, and is really doing something different for the beauty products industry. She really works hard to encourage other women, both in entrepreneurship and in leadership roles, in addition to all the work that she does as CEO. So we are so excited to welcome Joy Chen.
So good afternoon, everybody. Is everybody having a good day? Yeah? It's been a great event, it sounds like. So first things first, I want to congratulate the Cal women basketball team for making history. And let's wish them lots of luck this weekend to kind of clinch the title. Let's give it a round of applause. So thanks for having me here today with you. I have to say it's great to be home at Cal. I am so thrilled to be here today at this 17th year annual Haas-sponsored women's conference. I am so excited to see all of you here today. It is amazing in terms of how far we've come in terms of supporting women in the workplace. I just returned from actually celebrating 50 years of women at Harvard Business School. And it just shows me that any type of world-class education institution is embracing and advancing women in the workplace. So really want to thank Haas for such a great job in terms of leading the path. So today I want to share with you a little bit of my career journey and some of the key lessons I've had as it shaped my path-bending leadership. They're really simple learnings that are probably not anything different than you have known in the past, but it takes time to nurture and takes time for us to get better. And I'm still trying to get better at this. So my goal today is to give you the courage to get started today, because your time is, as soon as you leave this conference, you're going to try to make it happen. Do I have your pledge? Yeah? All right. So I think the first thing I want to do is maybe start with my background. So I'm actually Chinese, and I was born in Hong Kong, and I grew up in the US. I came when I was very, very young, probably when I was 9 or 10. So I grew up really in the US. I'm really American at the end of the day. I come from a family of 9 children, and I am the youngest. All right? And so not only did I have a tiger mom, I had tiger parents. They actually spent so much time trying to raise me, because by that point, I was the only one at home. All my siblings have left. I'm the only one left, and all their energy went to me. They are A++ personalities. They're extremely strict. demanding, and they think that education was going to be the key to any success in my future. So therefore, when I grew up in San Francisco, I went to Lowell, I went to Cal, and I went to Harvard for my MBA. All right? So education was key in my family. But, you know, when it comes to finding a career, I actually picked marketing. Marketing was my major at Cal. And it was hard for my parents. You know, they're Chinese parents. And, you know, they were wondering, how come I didn't want to be a doctor? Why didn't I want to be an engineer? And why didn't I want to be an accountant? You know? At least they could tell their parents what I did. Marketing, it's like, what is marketing? And what made it worse was that my first marketing role was on cat litter. I mean, not a lot your parents can say to their friends. What does your daughter do? Well, she markets cat litter. It's not even cat food, it's cat litter. So I joined Clorox, and my first job was cat litter. I also had tons of cleaning products. That's all I did. I market cleaning products, I market bleach. Not a lot of really fun stuff. And not a lot of things, you know, Chinese parents would say, wow, you know, my daughter now is, you know, running a bank. Well, she's just really marketing cat litter and bleach. But, you know, whatever it is, I enjoyed what I did, and that was my passion. I went for what I really wanted to do. So that was important. And so I was with Clorox for a very long time. And my last job there was general manager for the laundry business. And then after that, I joined Yes2. So for fun, I love to travel. It's only my husband and I. We don't have any children or pets. And so we can get up and go whenever we want. And, but most of all, I love to eat. I'm a foodie. And I would travel any distance to have a great meal. And so there was one Thanksgiving, there was times when I think people were talking how exciting Dubai was. There was this period of time, like Dubai was hot. You know, that's the place to, that's a destination to visit, tons of great restaurants and hotels. And so I asked my husband, I'm like, hey, you know, there's nobody really in town for Thanksgiving that weekend. Everybody's traveling, our family is. I said, let's go to Dubai for the weekend. And I said, I heard about all these restaurants, all these famous chefs are having opening places there. Let's go and check it out. Because I can't. He goes, I'm on call. He's a physician in San Francisco, so he was on call that weekend, which is a bummer for him because I went anyway. I called up a girlfriend, Robin Evans, and I said, hey, Robin, let's jet set over to Dubai. And she thought about it. She goes, okay, let's go. And so we went for 4 days. We had 3 amazing meals, and then we came back. So I love to eat, and I would always travel to eat. The other thing that's interesting about me is I love NASCAR. Does anybody know what NASCAR is? Has anybody been in a NASCAR race? Nice. Who's your favorite driver?
Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon. Okay, and you?
Yeah, same.
Yeah, same? So yeah, I'm a really big NASCAR fan. I had NASCAR underneath me when I was in sales at Clorox. It was a program that we ran, and I went to one race, and it was over. I was addicted. It has great energy. For those that you haven't been to a race, it's addicting, and it's great to have access to all the athletes that are there. There's not another sport that's kind of like that, I think. And the energy that you get from the race is amazing. So for those of you that haven't tried it, you should at least try it once. It's a great sport. All right, so that's enough about my background. So I'm now going to talk a little bit about kind of some of the learnings in my career. So let's do this. For those that can complete this following sentence, I want you guys to stand. I know my life purpose, and it is ... I know my life purpose, and it is ... Okay, so I want everybody to give this group of ladies a hand. It's not easy to know your life purpose and to be doing something about it. So I want to congratulate you guys for even knowing what your life purpose is, because that's the first step. I have to say, for me, it's taken me a very long time to really understand what my purpose is. I remember when one of my mentors at Clorox told me and sat me down and said, hey, Joy, you know, your job is really a means to really a broader purpose in life. And if you don't know what that is, you got to go and find out. That's really important. And I thought about this and I said, I was pretty stumped. I was like, oh my God, I thought it was my job. I thought that my job was my purpose. I guess it wasn't. And it took me a long time to figure it out, to figure out what I really wanted to do and what really was my life purpose. And it took a lot of self-evaluation and questions you have to ask yourself. You know, I asked myself, what do I like doing? What am I good at? You know? And what am I passionate about? What do I actually want to get up every morning and apply 100% of myself to? What is that? So for me, I'll use myself as an example. I love to fix things. So I'm good at fixing things. So my skills are turning around businesses. And I like to have a problem and I go and get it fixed. That's my skill set. And I love to build a team to do it with me. So I love fixing businesses, leading a team, and get it all done. That's what I'm good at. I learned that through some self-assessment. That's what I'm good at. And in terms of my passion, I have two that I kind of narrowed it to. It's hard to narrow it to even one, but I have two. One is, for me, it's important for me to do things that will give somebody a better choice to a healthier life. And to some extent, I did that at Clorox with some of the products, but I didn't really feel that connection. And for me, joining Yes2 was how I do that every day. I give somebody a healthier choice, which is a natural choice that's affordable, so that they have a choice to buy a product that's better for them. For me, it's satisfying one of my passions in life. My second one is inclusion. You know, being a woman and being Chinese and being Asian, for me, that's important. Having diversity in the workplace is one of my biggest passions. And that's why I'm here today, talking to all of you. And not only is it something I'm passionate about and it's good for the workplace, it brings great, phenomenal results. We bring business results when you have the right diversity and the right diversity of thought in the workplace. And I've seen that over and over again in my career. And I'm going to use the one that's closest to me right now, which is Yes2. When I first joined Yes2, it was really all men. You know, it was probably 85% men that's running the company. And, you know, we're in beauty. Who knows beauty better than us, right? And there weren't that many women in it. And so now, we forward now 3 years, and the team now is about 75 to 80% women. I have greater than 30% ethnicity in my work team. And not only is that important, my leadership team is half women. Yeah. Now, those stats sounds great, but you know, at the end of the day, the stats is not everything. You have to bring results, right? So 3 years now, the brand was the 5th in the marketplace as the natural brand. Now it's number 2. We have quadrupled the business in less than 3 years. And we have created value, we've increased the value of the company by 5 times. Would you please give my team a hand? I wouldn't be able to do it without my team, and I have 2 team members right here, Dana and Ashley. You guys want to stand? So I think it's important. That's why it's so big of a passion for me. It's not just about the statistics. It's about building better business results, and ultimately have a better place to live. That's what it's about. Outside of work, I also help a lot of women entrepreneurs in terms of starting their businesses and kind of realizing how to bring their business to life. That's something I love to do on my side, and it's something that's a passion for me, so that's the way I give back outside of work. So I leave you with the same questions that I kind of started in this learning. What are you good at? What are you excited about? And what's your passion? That will help you drive and define your purpose. Okay, so that's the first one. So my second one is my path to where I am today is definitely not a straight line. It's not even a ladder, I don't think. I think it's kind of like it kind of zigzagged all the way through. And I would say that there's more than one way to get to your goal. And the goal doesn't have to be a CEO role. It could be, I want to run a nonprofit someday. How do I get there? Or I want to have financial stability enough for me to go and do something in Africa. It could be anything. But whatever it is, it doesn't have to be a straight path. And mine definitely wasn't. And I still remember, I started in marketing, as I said, and I ended up as a general manager at Clorox, and then now CEO. But I still remember the day when my CMO at Clorox came to me and said, hey, Joy, we need you to go and take a sales role at Clorox. I know you want to be a GM, but we think that that's going to be good for you in order to get to your GM role. And I said, no. I said, there's nobody else that's ever done that. Why do I need to go do that? I don't want to be the first one to do that. And he goes, well, I think it's going to be good for you, and we need you to go do it. So reluctantly, I did. I went to take that role, and it was hard because it was outside my comfort zone. I didn't know anything about sales. I mean, I know how to market cat litter, but I don't know how to sell the cat litter to Walmart. It was hard. It's a different thing. But I would say it was one of the best experience I've ever had, was to go to sales. And I also had the best boss I ever had in sales as well. So sometimes you have to take some risks. And the risks will bring you out of your comfort zone, and that's okay, as long as it gets you to your end goal. And after doing that role, I got more confidence. I was like, I can do this. I want to learn more. Because the more I learn, the better equipped I'm going to be in being a GM someday or being a CEO. I couldn't imagine not ever taking a sales role before becoming a CEO. There's no way I could do my job well. So thinking about where you want to be, and then thinking about what's the right path to get there, and it's okay if it's not a promotion. It's okay if it's lateral. Sometimes you have to take lateral moves in order to get to a better place so you can reach your goal and reach your dream. So it's good to be out of your comfort zone, and there's many ways to get there. So I urge you guys to really think about, and what's that path? It doesn't have to be a promotion every time you guys go. Just think about what that path should be. Okay? All right. My third learning is, let me ask a question first. How many people in this room has celebrated a big accomplishment this week? What is it?
We finished our FY14 operating budget.
Oh, nice. And have you told anybody about that? That when? Who did you tell?
We celebrated. We went happy hour. We went to the Greek house and had some drinks.
Great. Awesome. I think that the third learning for us is, I think we have to do better in marketing ourselves and celebrating our wins. We as women are not really good at that. We think that sometimes we do well because we're lucky, it's the timing, because somebody else helped us. No, it's because you did it. It has nothing to do with anybody else. Your male counterpart will never give somebody else credit. Is that right? They're not going to say, oh, it's because of timing, it's because I was lucky. It's because they did it. So I think that we need to celebrate our wins and take credit for it. And if we don't tell anybody about how good we are, nobody's going to know. Who's going to know? All right, so I'm going to run you guys an example because, I'm a marketer at hand, so that's why it says branding yourself, which is when you market yourself and you celebrate wins. So I'm going to take you guys through an example. I'm going to take you through an example of how companies do it, and then I'm going to ask how we would do it. All right? So you guys have all shopped at a Target? Yeah? You guys all shopped at a Walmart? Yeah. All right. So tell me what sets Target apart from Walmart. The what? The colors? Consistency? Who's consistent? Target?
And the logo is fantastic.
Yeah, the logo. Yeah. Yes, the logo, the bullseye. Yeah. Anything else?
Commercials.
The commercials. What do the commercials say? It's a lifestyle brand.
Expect more, pay less.
Yes. Very good. Very good. Very good.
Good design.
Good design. So what sets you apart? Can you guys answer that question? That's what branding is all about. What makes you special versus John that's going to be next to you? So that's the first thing to branding. So going back to Target and Walmart, how do you feel when you shop at a Walmart versus a Target? What's a better experience? Huh? Do I hear Walmart? Target? Why? Why is it a better experience? Cleaner? Yeah? And what else? Better products? Yeah? Yeah? How about over here?
Your branding is more focused on joy.
Is what?
More focused on joy.
Yeah. Okay. Happiness. Okay.
Service.
Yep. Good. Anything else?
Higher social standards.
Yeah, higher social standards. That's always helpful. So the similar question is, how do people feel when they're with you? Do they find you to be fun to be with? Are you easy to work with? Do people want you on their team? How do you make people feel when you're next to them? Comfortable? Nervous? So these are questions you have to ask yourself, and that's part of branding. How do you set yourself apart? How do you make people feel when they're with you? Because people want to be with people that they enjoy being with, either at work or personally. So it's really important. So the last thing is really celebrating your wins, right? And we talked about branding and we talked about celebrating wins. So how does Target tell all of us when they have good news? Sale, yeah? What else? Commercials, yep. Press release, yeah. Any type of newspapers, right? Whenever there's an article about them when there's good news. There's bad news too, but usually good news is usually a newspaper article or some sort of news that we hear about. So how do you tell somebody when you have good news? Who do you tell? Huh? You're what? You say Facebook? But who are you targeting for Facebook? All your friends? Your friends? Okay. LinkedIn. Good. Twitter. Nice. All right, so I'm going to do a little exercise, okay? So you're going to turn to the person next to you. I was thinking maybe the right, if there's a right. And I want you to tell that person a quick win that you had this week. And then I want you to turn the other way and have that person tell you. Let's start now. tell somebody.
Yeah.
Well, you told me.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I'm here, so that's
Exactly. To talk about the win? Wow. All right. Can we get back together? Wow. There must be a lot of wins. All right. Can I ask somebody to share what they heard? All right.
Abby got news that a grant that she wrote for the nonprofit just got approval for a site visit. So that's the last step before funding.
That's great. Woo. Nice. Anybody up there? I'm sorry? You couldn't hear. Okay, let me see. Does this work here? Okay.
All right.
I don't know.
You want to hear it again?
Oh, you want to hear it again? Okay.
So Abby just got word from, she just wrote a grant, and her nonprofit received the green light for a site visit, which is the last step before funding.
Great. Nice, Abby. Who wants to share what they've heard? Okay. Sorry. Make you run all over.
I just going to your word about saying that sometimes doing what you want in terms of in the big scope of where you want to get to and your goals, that you have to take a lateral step, or actually in my case actually stepping down quite a bit. But then I just joined a project at Google, and within a week actually at first I thought, oh my god, this is really left field, and this is not close to anything that I wanted to do in terms of the role, but the project itself is something I'm extremely interested in. But then within a week of joining the team, there was an opportunity that they offered to everybody, and that brought me to exactly the kind of role that I was looking for, which was working directly with engineers, and I got it.
Great. So. Congratulations. Anybody here?
My neighbor Steph here just won Outstanding Graduate Student Instructor Award and hasn't told anyone yet.
Nice. Can I have somebody else over here?
Over here?
Over here? In this group right here? This is a very quiet group right here. Anybody? All right. Great.
Nancy just learned how to play Happy Birthday on her guitar after her second try, teaching herself.
Great. Awesome. These are, I mean, some of them are amazing wins, you know, right? They are amazing wins. You guys are an incredible group of women. And you guys got to tell your story. And it was great. Wasn't it fun to celebrate and hear other people's wins? Wasn't it great? And wasn't it great for you to tell somebody else? We got to do it more often. It should be part of a ritual that you do. So I'm urging you guys to tell your story, tell other people how great you guys are, and you guys to celebrate. Because you know what? Until you believe it, it's hard for you to tell somebody else. And the more you say it, the more you'll believe it. All right? All right. So that's my That's my third learning. My last one is, how many people in this room has gotten a job through somebody they know? Look at that. Look at that. That's the power of a network, isn't it? Right? So my next one, my last learning is it's actually as important of who you know as what you know. And I think, all the hands going up shows how important having the right network is, because the job of your dreams is not always going to be posted, somewhere, or a recruiter's not going to call you for it. And it happened to me too. I am totally an example of, having the right network. My job as a CEO of Yes2 didn't come because it was posted somewhere. Or it didn't really come because a recruiter called me. I met the investors through networking. And I really liked them. We really connected. Obviously, they own portfolios of businesses. But when this opportunity came up, they actually called me. And, the rest is kind of history. But I think we've all seen how powerful having a network is. And I think the most important thing I want to leave with you guys is that networking is not extra credit. As women, we tend to think, as long as we do a good job in what we do, the other stuff is really not that important, that extras. The extra part is really the networking. It is really important. It's part of your job. What you do is not just 8 to 5 doing your job. 8 to 5 should be part of what you do as building your network. It is really important, and you can't take it seriously. What I do is I schedule it now. I make it a point that, it's important enough, I'm going to put it on my calendar, I'm going to make it happen. Obviously you have to be good in what you do, and you have to be competent in what you do, but at the end of the day, having the right network is really important. And your network could be many things, right? It could be having a network with the peers that you have. When a peer leaves, or when you leave a company, it's really great to be able to stay in touch, because you never know when that peer of yours will be in the company that you actually want to be in. Same with mentors and sponsors. That's also your network. And I would suggest, for women, not to only get a woman mentor. I think it's great to have a male one. And I get the most, actually, having a male mentor. And the reason why is it's still a very male-dominated workforce and environment. And I learned the most when I talk to my male mentors. Because I learn about how to get things done and how to address things in a way that's, more acceptable, or I'm speaking their language, And the last thing is, make sure your network is not only internal. Internal being within the people you work with. You've got to look outside. If your goal at some point is to run a nonprofit and you're in a profit company, you better be having a network that's external to connect with the right people. So remember, networking is not extra credit. And build a network that is not comfortable, Don't only network with the people you know. That's not networking. That's like friends. Networking means you've got to go and know somebody new that's going to somehow be able to help you sometime in the future. All right? All right, I'm going to go and sum it all up and give you guys some to-dos when we leave this conference. All right, so the first thing is defining your purpose. I'm going to go sum it up. So defining your purpose, I'm going to recommend 2 books. The first one is Strength Finders. How many people have done a Strength Finder? Great. I think for those that haven't done it, I would suggest you guys do it. It's really trying to understand what your strengths are, and it will help you figure out what you're good at. And when we're in our zone of what we're good at, we're much happier as people. And I just did that with my team, and that's the first step that we're taking in order to better understand what our purpose is. The second one is, it's a book called Men's Search for Meaning. It's really trying to understand what's the meaning of life. So before you go and search for your purpose, I really recommend this book. It's a very short read, about 200 pages, and it's a great book to understand what drives meaning in some people's lives and then be able to help you define your purpose. The second is about the path to whatever your goal is. I think the most important thing there is just figuring out where you are today and where you want to be. And where you want to be will probably be defined by what your purpose is. And then once you know that, then you just have to plot. What's the skills you need in order to get there? The third is we talked about marketing yourself and celebrating your wins. I think I want everybody to be able to, at some point, be able to fill out the first sentence. I'm unique and different and awesome because ... If you could fill that out, then you know what your point of differentiation is, and you can go and market it. The second thing is, I'm going to ask you guys to communicate and celebrate a win at least once a week. So whatever accomplishments you have, big or small, I want you guys to get into the habit of telling somebody. It's not enough for you to go and tell your friends, your family, and your dog. You have to go and be purposeful about why you're celebrating your win. It's important for you to celebrate, personally, but it's also important, and you have to be thoughtful about why you want people to know how great you are. Okay? And then the last one is really define your network and figure out how your network can help you. And my to-do here for you is you have to go and meet someone new once a week. It could be a call, it could be another conference you go to, it could be meeting somebody that you didn't know before. You have to start meeting people that is going to be helping you with getting to where you want to be and building that network. And it's not extra credit, remember? You have to make sure that you have to make time for it. It's really important. And I know that there's a lot of to-dos, but hopefully you guys could find an area you guys want to focus on and really focus on that area. And I find it actually fun if you could find a friend to do it with, because then you two can keep each other honest, and make sure that you guys do it. So I'm going to leave you guys with one quote. It's from Diana Ross. It says here, you can't just sit there and wait for people to give you that golden dream. You've got to get there and make it happen yourself. So remember, as I started earlier, the time is now for you to make it happen. Thank you.
Great. Isn't Joy amazing? Awesome. So we've got time for a few questions. I have one here on the little card, and then I've already started running. You have some too? You have some cards? I've already started running, so actually we can do raising hands. I'm happy to sprint with the mic, but let me ask this one first while you guys collect your thoughts, and I'm starting to see some hands as well. Okay, so this one says, please tell us more about girlfriend circles and what girlfriends mean to you.
Okay. So Girlfriend Circle is a social network that is, the parallel is a Match.com, but for somebody to look for a friend, a girlfriend. As in a girlfriend, a girl finding a girlfriend. That's what it means. Finding friendship is what it means. So it's a Match.com, but it's for finding friendships, so finding people to hang out with. Okay? And I think for me, girlfriends are friends that you have, that you can hang out with, you can tell your soul to, you go shopping together. There's such a big range in terms of what a girlfriend stands for, but it could be all of those things.
Great. Any questions? I see one right here.
My question is, what are some of the brand challenges that you've faced either at Clorox or at Yes2, where you had to reposition your brand to mean something different?
Like a product?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The company or product.
Okay. I think the biggest challenge is for us at Yes2 is to how do we build awareness of the brand. We know that the brand is well positioned. It actually is a natural brand, but then it's also modern and has a little bit of a personality versus other natural brands. And it's positioned on all the fruits and vegetables in terms of it being the major ingredient that does something for your skin. So I think our biggest marketing challenge is how do we raise the right awareness for this brand and also drive the right trial so people will try it and stay with our brand. Because we know when somebody tries it, they love our product. Does that answer?
Yeah. Okay. Great. Wow. I think we have time for...
Okay. I guess I can explain it very well.
Yeah.
I guess my question always is, where I am right now in a position where I would like to develop very good relationships in my company. And in a way, I also think a lot about positive psychology. So I was thinking maybe you thought about positive psychology, and maybe you tried creating this in your organization in terms of how to make people happy and engaged and make them feel good in a way.
Yeah. So what's the question exactly?
The question is, I don't know. Have you thought about positive psychology? Have you thought about how do you make people happy in the workplace? I mean, as a CEO, this is part of your business to manage people. So how do you create very good relationships with your employees?
I think about that all the time. And I think that, that's one of the most challenging things of any manager and leader is how do you motivate the people that work for you and they want to give, 150% every day. And, we, in Yes2, you guys can vouch for me. We work hard. The team works extremely hard, but we also have a lot of fun. And I think the balance is really important. And, for a small company, obviously, it's easier to do that than in the big corporation. We do lots of cool things. I have girls' night out where I take the women in the group and we have a fun night together. So we do fun things like that. We on Friday nights and Friday actually at the end of the day we have what we call the wind down, like really winding down, but with wine. So, we do have fun, and those are things that we are able to do when you are a smaller company, and it's harder to do when you are in a big corporation, but there's ways to motivate your team to want to run through the wall for you and enjoy being at work. And you just have to know your team well to know what that is. And for us, we have a lot of fun. We go to baseball games. We do a lot of things, but at the end of the day, it really feels like a family, and that's what we're trying to nurture is the Yes2 family, and how do we become a family and stay a family, and that motivates the team, to work harder. And one thing not to, underemphasize, at the end of the day, everybody wants to grow in a company. So although you can have all the fun, and people enjoy being together, you have to provide growth and career growth. And so at the end of the day, you have to have both of those in order to get people motivated to want to work.
Great. So we have time for one more question, and this comes from Si Ying from China. She says, "Hi, Joy. How did you capitalize on your cross-cultural background?"
Oh, that's a good question. I use it more now that we are, obviously the brand has been doing extremely well in North America, and we're now looking into getting into Asia is one of our opportunities, and there's many geographies that we're not in today. But that's one of the ways I really leveraged my background in order to better understand the Asian markets and how to get in, and kind of understanding kind of the cultural differences between being an American and then being Asian. And so I've leveraged a lot of my background and how I was raised to help me kind of expand into other markets internationally.